Every living being loves their life. From the smallest creature to the most complex and sophisticated animal or human, all beings love their life. Even the blade of grass that struggles to rise towards the sun wants to live, wants to feel the vibrancy of life, wants to feel the sun. From the smallest blade of grass to the most developed human being, and all in between, love their life. They want to live. Living beings want to live, to grow, to survive, to exist. And that existence to which all strive is an evolutionary flow, a movement from crudity to subtlety, a movement from the physical to the psychic to the subtle realms of the soul. That movement, that process is inherent in the evolution of life. And as life evolves from one form to another, physical life, all the living beings striving to live, to grow, to be, all yearning for that source of life, all moving towards the vibrancy of life, wanting that eternal existence. First, in the lower forms of life, in those less developed consciousness, that understanding is not there. Yet, even though the understanding is not there, still life moves, life progresses, life has an inherent process in each being of wanting to survive, wanting to move forward, wanting to grow, to evolve. And so life force energy moves along the evolutionary scale, creating subtler and subtler forms which allow for greater and greater conscious awareness. And as conscious awareness grows in magnitude, living beings have more capacity to choose. They can choose to live in ignorance, they can choose self-destruction, or they can choose to explore this inner urge within them and to find their destiny, their reason for being here. They can choose to evolve, to grow, to become more. That opportunity of choice grows and grows as living beings evolve. And when the living being evolves to the stage where those choices are distinctive, because the element of mind that knows, I exist, I am, that self-reflective element of mind is established, then all the components of mind are present. And the living being, the small mind associated with a physical form, is a reflection of the great cosmic mind in which all beings abide, are born, live their life, and dissolve. and again are born, live their lives, and dissolve in physical form, to arise and arise again until the consciousness associated with form evolves into a more developed, self-aware beingness. As this evolution grows in magnitude, intelligence, awareness, self-reflection grows. And at the human stage of development, the mind is a mirror of the cosmic mind, like the puddles that reflect the moon after a rainstorm. So the human mind reflects that cosmic existence, that cosmic mind, in its potential, in its capacity. But if a human being does not utilize those capacities, and they engage only in sensory experience and in fulfilling their basic physical needs, then their life is the life of an animal. For these are animal bodies, and they have not pursued their human dharma. The dharma, the human dharma, is to pursue this deep longing, this restlessness in the heart and the mind, that yearns for something more, something great, to explore the ways, the path to the soul, to the Atman. This is called in Sanskrit Bhagavat Dharma, the yearning for the great, the yearning to know the divine nature, the soul within. So as beings evolve, there is greater and greater capacity for joy and greater capacity for pain, greater capacity to know, to be aware. And in that awareness comes the ability to perceive this restlessness within that wants lasting happiness. Some may feel that is an unconditional love, a love that can be counted on, family, friends. Others may feel it is fulfilled by doing some work in the world that is important. Others find lesser paths that they hope will lead them. If they only have so many cars, so many houses, so many material objects, they hope that they will find happiness. Or if they have power, control over others, then they feel safe. They hope that will bring them happiness. So human beings explore a variety of avenues to try to quell this restless yearning within them, to find a way to fulfill this restless yearning, to feel that they have life eternal, happiness that cannot be snatched away. But unfortunately, in the physical world, due to the laws of Prakriti, the laws of nature, it is natural that there is both acquisition and loss. There is both pleasure and happiness because what you need, what you want has come to you, and pain and sorrow because what you are attached to or what you have a desire for is not achievable. So both of these experiences weave through human life. They weave through the life of all beings. But at the human level, there is more self-reflection, self-awareness, capacity to try to understand what this process is. Capacity to try to figure out how to achieve lasting happiness, how to achieve a fulfillment that doesn't get destroyed with the ups and downs of life, with the pains and losses and changes that always go on, because the physical world is always changing and changing and changing. Today it's one way, tomorrow it's another. Today things go your way, and it may seem that they go your way for a very long time because human attention is not so, the span of human attention and awareness is not always so long. So if for 1 year, 2 years it goes well, you think, oh, it'll always go well. You don't think to the time when that will change. The circumstances you've set up will change. But regardless of the changes that take place, where is the lasting happiness? The lasting sense of fulfillment, the completeness that doesn't change with time. That only happens when through self-reflective awareness you become connected to your soul, to your Atman, to your eternal self, rather than merely your body-mind experience of sensory existence. When you become connected to the part of yourself which doesn't change, which is immortal, which is self-resplendent, self-fulfilled, then you find that happiness which cannot be taken away. It's always there. Even when you aren't experiencing it, it's always there. When your conscious attention comes into embodiment in the body and the mind, you experience conscious awareness receiving and giving information through the Tan mantras and through the organs of reception, the senses and the organs of expression. So you are engaged in physical embodiment. Your conscious awareness is taken up in that. That plane of existence will always have ups and downs. No doubt about it. You are not physically immortal. But that very attention, that conscious awareness, the you, that can direct conscious awareness into the body, into the senses, into the ego-driven existence, can also pull that conscious awareness out of ego existence. You have the opportunity, you have the capacity to move your attention, to move it through deep self-reflection into awareness of your own nature, of your soul, your Atman, And when your conscious awareness, your attention, is drawn into the Atman, into the soul, it leaves the ego, body, mind experience and moves into a different layer of your own existence. And that layer of your existence, where your conscious beingness abides, is immortal. In that you are the witness of all that you experience, and all of the varieties of experience that you have had in a variety of forms. For form lies in time and in space, but the Atman lies outside of time and space. The Atman is not here or there. You do not travel so many miles to get to it, and then if you go in a different direction, it isn't there. No, the Atman is everywhere. Your soul is everywhere. And at what time did your being not exist? For the Atman, your soul, is the same consciousness, the same beingness that is the living, awakened awareness of all beings. That awareness which is witnessing your uniqueness, when reflected back into itself, is the same conscious awareness, the same being that abides in all manifestation, in all times and in all places. Your soul is not bound in time. Your soul is not bound in space. Only your body and the mental faculties associated with the body are bound in time and space. Your immortal being is free. And when your attention, your awareness moves out of your physical body-mind vehicle and focuses on the self of yourself, then awareness, attention, consciousness ceases to be bound by time and space, ceases to be bound by I and thou, ceases to be bound in duality. When you know your own self, the knower of your existence, your own self, you, really you, when you know yourself, the you who is aware of everything you experience, the you who knows, who is awake, conscious, intelligent, that you is immortal being. And when you cease to identify yourself with the multitude of experiences, forms that you witness, you become free, unbound. Knowing the self, you know the self of all beings. The self of all beings is one self, Purusha, the infinite conscious, aware intelligence of the universe, from which all creation has come, in which all creation abides. Knowledge of all things abides in the self. Like the salt dal that walks into the ocean, when you approach the self, when you come to know the Atman, you dissolve into the larger self of all beings. And there, human dharma is fulfilled, for there the unstruck music is played. There are never two. There you are free, eternal, infinite being. There, lover and beloved are one. There you find your home, your resting place, your source. Many images, many paths, many ideas are spread in the minds of men about the way home, about how to do it, how to meditate, how to do religious practices, how to recognize the path, what to do, whom to follow. There are so many ideas. But ideas abide in the mind. Ideas abide in time and space. The self always is. It's your own precious being. No one can take it from you. It's already yours. It is who you are. It's your natural state. Your natural state is free. Your natural state is unbound. Your natural state is love, is truth. Is infinite. You are a sojourner. bringing awareness into a body and a mind, and experiencing the uniqueness of the body, the mind, and the pain and the joy. It is a unique experience that you call yourself, but it is not yourself. It is your unique experience of manifesting. Take time to know your own self. It's yours. It's free. You're free. You're whole. This is your birthright. It's natural. Draw your awareness out of forms, out of thoughts, and into the love that is your own nature, into the truth which never changes. And that is where lasting happiness abides. And even when you draw the attention back to the body and the mind, remember, and enjoy being embodied with all its highs and joys, and its pains and losses and sorrows and great dramas. But don't forget who you are, and take a little time always to remember. Don't forget. All right? Namaskar.